Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the persons of Master Fard Muhammad, and I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed thine exalted Christ. And I furthermore indeed bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our big brother, warner, friend, teacher, and guide. I greet you all in the nation, greeted words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Brother Albert Muhammad and the Let Us Make Man family, as always, family, we continuously thank you for your support. We thank you for taking a few moments of your time to watch the videos, read our posts, support our cause, our efforts in the plight of the black community. We can never thank you enough. I want to take some time, family, to address a post that we put up in regards to our brother, Kanye West. Battle of the mind. I'm not going to take too much time in dealing with this issue, but because we put the post up, I just want to address this real briefly. But before I even go there, in terms of addressing this issue, or why we even put the post up, recently I came across a video or two where there was a national alert put out, somewhat like a hit, that bodily harm should be done to Kanye West for the comment that he made. The individual that put it out called upon quote unquote gang members across the nation, a certain sect, etc., to do bodily harm to Kanye. Behind this, which is interesting, because what never ceased to amaze me, we don't hesitate, meaning black people, to do bodily harm to one another. But when someone else violates us in any shape, form, and fashion, we don't hear for such national alerts or national call-outs to do bodily harm to somebody because they made a statement based on their belief system, right? So I wanted to make that point because at the end of this video, you'll understand more than likely why. And maybe you might understand why Kanye might have said what he said. By no means are we doing this video to try to justify anything that Kanye West may have said. If you know Kanye West or know anything about Kanye West, you wouldn't have even taken this particular comment out of context or even personal. However, so I'm not going to sit here and talk about Kanye West per se. We're going to talk about the reality of the comment that he made. Slavery was a choice. Whose choice? Who is he talking about? How dangerous is the comment that Kanye West made towards black people in America? It's obvious, clearly dangerous, if someone calls for a particular group to do bodily harm to Kanye behind the comment that he made. I'm not upset with Kanye. Sometimes we have to humble ourselves and try and get into the mind of each other to help each other or understand where someone might be coming from, right? Slavery was an atrocity. I don't think too many people in a right state of mind would choose involuntary servitude as a living. I just don't believe that, right? I listened to Kanye comment, when he made the comment, and how he made the comment, and who he was talking to in the process. I also saw the video a couple days after he made the comment that he did an interview with a brother that expressed his hurt and pain behind the comment Kanye made. And Kanye humbly apologized to that individual and said to that brother, "I'm sorry, brother, if I hurt you." And what I said, only Kanye knows his sincerity. Kanye is a genius beyond a shadow of a doubt. But hell, geniuses make mistakes. Common people make mistakes. You and I make mistakes. But if somebody dragged us down for every wrong that we did, where would we be at? If somebody put us down for every time we did something wrong, where would we be at as individuals? Right? So in regards to the comment, what is really going on in Kanye's head? That was my first thought as I was watching the video of this particular comment. I also had an opportunity to watch the semi-interview Kanye was attempting to do with Eleanor DeGeneres. And if you watch that interview, it's clear some things are going on in our brother head. I don't know what it is. I don't know Kanye like that. I never spoke to Kanye West. Never had a sit down with Kanye and try to play no psychiatrist because I don't have those kinds of degrees. I'm just a little brother trying to make it here in the city of Akron and take care of my family. That's what I'm responsible for doing, along with pushing the #1 program in the Nation of Islam, the Final Call newspaper, and building our nation, helping the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to the best of my degree. So I'm not a psychiatrist to sit down and dictate or determine what's going on in Kanye's head. But to call for bodily harm to be done to the man, I think that's a little extreme from us, especially those that the person that made that type of call. Because if anything, we should be calling for that same national alert in regards to the current conditions and situations that our people are being put in by this government, by her police force, her agencies, the crimes we commit against each other on a day-to-day basis, right? Kanye saying slavery was a choice. I don't even really think Kanye knew exactly what he was talking about. Because when you're dealing with current events, it's difficult to apply that to 400 years of involuntary servitude, right? According to the history of slavery, their Wikipedia tells us slavery began in 1619, according to them. And the first 19 or so Africans to reach English colonies arrived in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that's incorrect. The first settlement of slaves that actually entered Jamestown, Virginia was in 1555. So that's a lost 64 years right there. That's a lost 64 years. So according to their Wikipedia, they're going to tell you what they want you to know based on their research. And many of us will go with their research versus doing our own research and historical background and check in to determine or come to some sort of ideal of when slavery actually began. What is slavery? Since it's a choice, let's see if it's really a choice. Because again, I'm not trying to do this video tonight to badger Kanye West or, just go at Kanye West. That's not what this is about. We're talking about the subject that is at hand that got us going crazy right now. There's many of us spending a lot of time and energy and going off, posting all kinds of memes and all kinds of things at Kanye. But I mean, that's the hand you dealt when you deal yourself such a hand on his behalf. Slavery is any system in which principles of property law are applied to people, right? Allowing individuals to own, buy, and sell other individuals. Let me repeat that. Slavery is any system in which principles of property law are applied to people, allowing individuals to own, to buy, and sell other individuals. That's interesting. Because right there, if you're being told that it's a law that allow individuals to sell other individuals, right? The Dutch, actually, the Dutch traders who had seized those 19 or so slaves that reached Jamestown, Virginia, according to history, they were captured from Spanish slave ships. The Spanish usually baptized slaves in Africa before embarking them. The Spanish usually baptized slaves before embarking them. So in reality, slavery kind of go further than the 400 years that we're being told. Because there was a process going on to actually acquire and get the slaves, which the Spanish played their role in it. And the Spanish and the Dutch was going to war with each other over the property. The slaves that was being captured, kidnapped out of Africa. Many of us heard of the Middle Passage and the atrocities. Sharks used to follow the ships. These was old raggedy ships that they were having these people tied and locked down in. Since he said it was a choice. We talking about the statement, not Kanye. We're talking about the statement of it being a choice. So with that being said, pardon me, family, slavery obvious was not a choice for those that the Dutch had captured and took from the Spanish. See? Because the Spanish was the main ones that were actually kidnapping the slaves and auctioning them off to the English. But the slaves had to be broke before they could even be auctioned off to the English. They didn't come to the English colonies raw. We're talking about the reality of whether it was a choice or not. And whose choice was it? Men, women, and children. The inhumane treatment that they endured was beyond belief for the human race. Slavery. So as these people were being brought to the English colonies, they had to go through the Middle Passage. Those was the breaking grounds. The little islands that you got set up now. Haiti, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and all these other islands that you have set up now. These islands are where the breaking process took place. See, we're talking about whether or not it was a choice. I believe I could be wrong. But in my little infinite wisdom, I believe I have a general idea of what Kanye is talking about. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And I'm confident that he had to sit back and realize what he said came out the wrong way. at the wrong time because he doesn't have any guards on his tongue. Kanye has always been a loose cannon, and we all know that, right? So slavery in itself, whose choice? Huh? Who would choose to jump overboard rather be treated the way they were being treated? Women were raped and mutilated. Men were castrated just to plant fear in them while going through the Middle Passage. So whose choice was it, man? And why is it so dangerous now? Because I'm going to tell you something. All those people that Kanye associate with, those Jews, those crackers, they are only manipulating and utilizing the opportunity to continue to suppress us. Kanye is not the only so-called black conservative that exists among us in 2018. There's a host of them that is going all out for national attention, for talk shows, for radio shows. They don't give a damn about what happened to us in small cities and towns like Akron, Cleveland, Jersey, Patterson, small cities. They don't care nothing about the police gunning us down, breaking in homes, raiding the wrong homes, shooting babies at 4 years old while they sleep. They don't care nothing about black women being knocked out, slammed on their head. See, those black conservatives are what the Caucasian, the Jews, and the Republican Party, along with the Democratic Party, are actually using to continue to suppress black people overall. So in reality, Kanye's statement has brought more light to our current condition. See? When we take a reality check, it's something that a lot of us, yes, sir, Brother William, I got you. It's going to be all right. Brother Williams is letting me know that Satan is busy tonight because Satan won't allow him to share the video, but it's going to be all right. We got to keep working, big bro. Thank you. We're in an hour now where Satan is in full effect, right? So Kanye got the heart of a lion. He's not afraid to step out there. And I respect that about Kanye, man. Despite what some of us might write and say, right? I respect that about the brother. We are so quick to badger and throw each other under the bus as soon as something goes wrong. See? But when the Caucasian do something wrong, many of us go and try to justify the wrong that they do. Right? Talking about slavery. See? In 1555, in Jamestown, Virginia, so teaches the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, is when the first settlement of slaves hit the states, the United States of America. See? And the auctions begin. Now, as I was just reading, slavery is any system in which principles of property law are applied to people, allowing individuals to be owned, buy and sell other individuals as de jure form of property. A slave is unable to withdraw literally from such an arrangement and works without remunerations. So a slave has no say-so. How could it be a choice? Right? Their property, according to the system. So these African brothers and sisters which is our ancestors, that were actually brought here, that were brought into a wicked system that was already set up. And many of them was being baptized in Africa by the Spanish, who actually orchestrated this thing. Slavery, kidnapping Africans from Africa, bringing them to the European colonies as property. See? Modern times. And I'm almost done with this because I'm not going to stay on this that long. Let's take this thing to modern times. And let's see if we can get a general idea of what the brother might have been talking about. It's 2018 now, modern times. Are we, you and I, choosing to be a slave? I can speak for me. I ain't nobody's slave. I'm responsible, but I'm not a slave to no man or woman to that effect. Right? However, we are under a judicial system that continues to treat us like property. The same as they've done to the slaves of 400 years ago. So if you're under a certain system for 400 years or better, then psychologically you've been damaged to the degree that is almost impossible to be freed from. And in every efforts that we have made or any progress black people have made in America, they were destroyed by inner occultists. Men and women that come in among us. Huh? The Black Panther Party derived from the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. They broke off. Some of them, or many of them, were members of the Nation of Islam at one point. And like most of us, when we decide that we want to do our own thing, they branch off. However, the Black Panther Party was the first black organization that actually created what you call Section 8, or that's what they label it now, Section 8 welfare, because the Black Panther Party were doing things in the communities providing for our people. So the government could not see that go but for so long because they would lose control. And they did everything they could to destroy the principles of the Black Panther Party. The original principles. I can't be sure about the current principles, but I'm talking about the original principles of the Black Panther Party, which is to provide adequate homes, food, shelter, and clothing for our people. Separation basically is what they were preaching, which derived from the life-giving teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, as is taught today by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in 2018. Right? We are governed under a system today that suppress our people. They have allowed many black men, women to participate to a degree in their social equality. What do you mean by that? You got black mayors, black lawyers, black doctors, black police officers. These are the things that they never would even imagine in 1555 for 400 years. In the last 64 years that they haven't even told us about. Because according to their Wikipedia, it was 1619. The Messenger teaches us that slaves was brought to the European colonies in America, particularly 1555 in Jamestown, Virginia. 64 lost years. Whose choice? is Kanye referring to when he talked about slavery being a choice? You got to remember something about Kanye West, man. He's a genius. Kanye West is a genius. So you really cannot underestimate Kanye West. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan embraced Kanye West and his entire family at the palace not long ago. Then you find Kanye West with the chief of the nation and the most powerful man according to their system in the world, Donald Trump. So don't underestimate Kanye West. That's all I can say. I know that Kanye respects and loves Minister Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. I know that. See? But at the end of the day, we also realize how many of us was affected by the comment that he made based on our current conditions here in America in 2018. Bill Cosby did a video a few years ago, right? And the way he did the video, you would think that he was dehumanizing black people based on their current conditions, the language, the dress code, the conduct. But Bill Cosby also made it clear how he respects and loves the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. It just stands out. It just stands out. There's something really wrong when we have to face our realities as a people. Because if you really are concerned and worry so much about the comment that Kanye West made in regards to slavery being a choice, then we would change our current conditions that might prompt somebody to even think about speaking like that. I'm just saying. Again, I'm not doing no video tonight to try and defend Kanye West, justify Kanye West's comments, conduct, and character. That's Kanye West. He is who he is. The one thing we're dealing with tonight is whether or not slavery was a choice. And obvious at the foundation of slavery, it couldn't have been a choice, right? Slavery began to exist before written history in many cultures. Let me repeat that. Slavery began to exist in written histories in many cultures. A person could become enslaved from the time of their birth, capture, or purchase. There were many cultures that enslaved their own people. The atrocities of the Africans that were kidnapped from Africa and brought to the European colonies and spread it out throughout the European colonies suffered some of the worst atrocities of humankind. You couldn't even fathom I couldn't fathom the thought of somebody coming and pushing in my door and telling me they're going to take my children from me. Or telling me to send my daughter 12 years old or 11 years old to their house at a certain time. See, that's the atrocities that they had to endure. You telling me that's a choice? That's a choice? What was he really talking about in regards to the comment in itself that he actually made? See? So for 400 years, the Bible says that you will be enslaved in a land that is not yours. Not no other people on the planet has been going through this or been through this other than black people in America from their ancestors who were brought here in 1555 And America presented some of the worst atrocities on the planet when it came down to slaves. Can't you see in 2018, they're systematically trying to reenact slavery? White people feel the power to spit in your face, at any given time. At any given time, white people feel the authority to trample over you. 2018, right? They're taking young girls off the streets. The police is doing it. And raping them. Some of them are being killed. And they call it justifiable homicide. Right? They pulling out guns on us at the drop of a hat. They're in the process of trying to systematically reenact slavery, taking away all of your so-called rights that Dr. King and many along with him and before him fought for. Medgar Evers, Harriet Tubman, Denmark Vesey, Nat Turner, Sojourner Truth. All these people fought and died. Malcolm X, and so on and so on. The list is endless. But yet in all, our current condition allows us to be treated in such a way. I'm just saying. See? So when we look at the reality of what was said in our current condition, our self-hatred, black people, there's a great percent, not all, of black people that hate one another this much or that much, that we despise each other, we abuse each other, we use each other, talk down on each other, pretend to be with each other, and we're really not. Caught up in religious theologies and ideologies, profess to be this or that and not striving to live it. I said in the previous video, we talk about being Muslims, Christians, atheists, Buddhists, Jehovah's. We talk about how much we so-called pray with all that damn hatred on our heart. Right? But yet in all, Kanye West make a statement and everybody go crazy. I mean, you know, technically he dealing with some issues. The man came out. Kanye for a second. The man made it clear that he was struggling with opium problems. He had a serious opium issue, right? The man lost his mother during a time when he was just taking off. His life was just beginning. His attachment was with his mother, right? So we won't take in consideration the trials that the man is going through. I'm not justifying nothing. We reap what we sow. Kanye has to deal with what Kanye has to deal with. But we want to know if slavery is a choice or not. And if so, whose choice? It really is. See? But at the end of the day, we won't hesitate to throw somebody under the bus. The brother from LBC, Long Beach, California, I'm not going to quote his name. I'm not going to give him that on this site tonight. But I will talk about the reality of you putting a hit on Kanye, calling for the so-called group that you affiliate with to put hands on Kanye. Swallow with us, man. What Kanye said wasn't that damn bad. But we won't hesitate to do bodily harm to one another. But we refuse to come together and stop the injustices that has been afflicted on us over the last 12 years in America. Black men getting shot like wildflower. Where your gangsters at? The ones that you trying to put on Kanye. That's how serious this is why in the post we asked the question, how dangerous could this really be? The comment that Kanye made. How dangerous could it really be? And obvious, it is dangerous. And not just for black people in America, but for our brother. He's still our brother. Despite popular belief, he's still our brother. You might be mad at what he said. Hell, change the condition. If you're that mad, change the current conditions that we're in. Change the way we treat each other. Change the way we talk to each other. If you're really that angry about what that man said. Huh? Come on, man. Think about it for a hot second. And see how angry you really are, if that's what you really are. If anger is really in your heart like that for Kanye West. I'm not upset with Kanye West at all. I wasn't even shocked when I listened to it. I just said to myself, that's Kanye. That brother dealing with something, man. You know what I'm saying? You know he can't sit for a hot 10 seconds without firing off something crazy. I've yet to see Kanye hold a lengthy conversation, and I know he can't because he's an intelligent and a talented brother. See? He's an intelligent and a talented brother. See? If he was conscious enough to turn to the brother that he was conversating with and say to the brother, I apologize if what I said hurt you. Can we accept his apology? Are we too arrogant to say, brother, everything gonna be all right? Allah's God, or whatever the hell you believe in. Can we look at Kanye West and say, it's gonna be all right, brother? Why are we dwelling on it? Right? With all that we're going through right now in America, they don't want you in their schools. They don't want you in their restaurants. They don't want you in their stores. But you attack Kanye like a vicious animal. But we won't come together under one flag, freedom, justice, and equality, and change our current condition. Therefore, no one will be able to say that slavery was a choice, but that we can manifest and give homage to our ancestors that endured what they endured when they were captured by the Dutch and the Spanish and brought here as slaves in the European colonies and in America. And that's why black people all over the planet are despised and rejected. Because those that despise us know what a great people we really are. Huh? They know who we really are as a people. And they know sooner or later, black people will rise again. Not just in America, but internationally. And all the hate that we display to one another will turn into love, man. And there will be no way no Caucasian or anything outside of the original man will be able to monopolize, mistreat, and do harm to us without paying a hefty price. So I thank Allah for Kanye West standing up and saying what he said. Again, I done made my statement or my point clear. I was never mad at the brother. Right? I mean, he'll get through. He's a young brother. He'll get through that phase of his life. See? I mean, you know, I'm not here to, you know, try and bring the brother down. Right? But at the end of the day, Assalamu alaikum, Brother David, out of Puerto Rico. Peace. I'm going to say this, though. if we would stand by each other the way that we want to do bodily harm to each other, right? You will see an effective change throughout our communities, wherever we are. I'm just a little brother. I'm a little fella. I'm not a big fella in this thing, man. I'm just an infant striving to grow under the bosom of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Trials are necessary for the believers. There's none of us that are without a trial in some shape, form, or fashion. So let Kanye go through his trial, man. He'll get through it. One way or the other. He will turn around and do something great. Then you all will forget about it. Won't even be talking about it, especially if you benefit from it. Because that's how it naturally goes, man. That's how all these so-called black conservatives out here. Dr. Ben Carson, he was great in the hospital, but he's a tragedy to us now. And he's targeting poor black men, women, and children. So he want to take away. See, this is how we get distracted. Because while we fussing and arguing about Kanye West, look what they're actually doing. Ben Carson, who is head of HUD, housing, he want to take away from the black sisters that are out there trying to survive with their babies. And I know how arrogant and ignorant some of us are. Well, they shouldn't be on welfare or this or that. Black people ain't the only one getting public assistance, so we understand that. But they'll be the main ones affected immediately under Dr. Ben Carson. He has a point to prove. And that point to prove is he has to prove to Trump, I hate niggas as much as you. So he's going to do all he can to make affordable housing impossible for black women, men, and children. What are we going to do? What are you going to do when your daughters, your sons, have no place to take your grandchildren? No home for them, no food for them. If you only knew what young black women are going through right now, trying to survive, but they don't come to you because you beat the hell out of them behind their mistakes. All you do is badger them because they made mistakes. But little orphan Annie make a goddamn mistake and you hold her up. So while we being distracted with all this madness, the injustice, the slaughter, injustice just keep chopping at our people. Work for Section 8 is what they're saying. And I thank Allah for the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad because it teaches separation and independence. The messenger teaches us to be independent of the government, separate. And we have to strive to do our best because eventually our people is not going to have any other choice. There's not going to be no help for them. I don't know what we're going to do for them as a people. Separation is our only option. That is what it is. So you can waste your time debating about what Kanye West said because he's Kanye West. Because some of us say some of the worst things about our current condition, but because we don't have the name and the prestige and the honor and the recognition Kanye West has, don't nobody pay attention to it. But because it's Kanye West, everybody all of a sudden pays attention to it. They call him everything under the sun. I'm reading some of the as I'm talking to you, I'm reading some of the comments on the post that we put up. And some of us is just merciless, man. No pity, no soul. Damn, how could you have so much hate for your own that we can't make a legitimate mistake? Kanye might not even consider it being a mistake. Kanye may consider it as being meaning what he's saying what he means. And bottom line, it is what it is. Huh? At the end of the day, We are so hard-hearted against one another that if we make a critical mistake in such a way, then all of a sudden we start talking about the worst things that need to be done. No, all we need to do is keep working. As our sister just wrote, I apologize, sis, I cannot pronounce the sister name. I don't want to butcher the sister name, but I'm going to read what she wrote. And she said the nation needs to move southeast around the farm. And believe me, sis, we're doing all we can to establish more farms throughout the country. That is a part of our goal of separation and our independence, is to be able to provide our food, our people with the most adequate foods and needs and substance that they need to survive. But in farming, we also need the support. So if you're interested, you can go to NOI.org and learn how to support the Nation of Islam farming products so that we're able to establish more farms throughout the nation, this nation that we're in. So I agree with my sister 100%. And we're working hard in terms of the Nation of Islam. I mean, overall, nothing happens overnight. They say, well, you've been in around 80 years. Hell, it took longer than 80 years to establish this nation. Right? So at the end of the day, the Nation of Islam will be established to the degree where we will be separated and independent from this wicked judicial system that we're living under. So with that being said, I'm not going to belabor the point and just go on and on and on and find myself repeating myself, right? Just wanted to make a simple point and understand the science of slavery and the pain and the suffering that the brothers and sisters, our African brothers and sisters, right, had actually went through during the Middle Passage. During the Middle Passage when they were kidnapped by the Spanish. The English ain't had nothing to do with kidnapping them. John Hawkins and all these other people, but John Hawkins was from England, but at the end of the day, he couldn't get no product, meaning slaves, without going through the Spanish and the Dutch. And the Spanish was the chief slave traders and kidnappers of the Africans that they actually kidnapped and brought to the English colonies on through the Middle Passage, passing through these Caribbean islands. Yes, Haiti was able to fight off the French. Yes, Haiti was able to win their independence from the French. But look at the hell that the French and the European government has put Haiti through, making it almost virtually impossible for Haiti to sustain herself. Check the history, man. One brother asked me, have I ever been to Haiti? I've never been to Haiti. I would love to go to Haiti, but I've never been to Haiti. Huh? We salute Haiti. Original salute to the people of Haiti that fought off the French to gain their independence, and they acquired that. But the hell that they put them through, again, makes it virtually impossible. When they had that major earthquake in Haiti, millions and billions of dollars were sent to Haiti to help the Haitian people, but the poor never saw it. Pardon me. The poor never saw it in Haiti. Do you have any idea of the suffering that the Haitian people are going through based on the condition and the treatment of the European governments? To my brother that mentioned Haiti. But Haiti was a part of the Middle Passage. Cuba, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, and all the smaller islands that I may not even be able to pronounce. Peru, Colombia, all these places. Many of the slaves was able to take over the ships. Do you think that during that Middle Passage, there wasn't warriors that stood up and took over the ships? But they didn't understand that type of navigation to get back to Africa. They docked the ship wherever they docked it at and fought to survive. Right? I'm going to tell you something. And I'm done with this. We need to really humble ourselves as a people, man. We are over 22 million in America. We spend over $1 trillion or more a year on waste. Trying to keep up with the Joneses. Buying things that we know we don't need, man. How many of us can honestly say that we have set aside for our future generation X amount of property or funds that our grandchildren can sustain themselves? We're not going to live forever. How many of us on this feed can honestly say that? How many of us can honestly say we're in the process of striving to set aside something for our future generations, our grandchildren, so they don't have to go through these atrocities that black people are going through? Just in New York, they murdered a black sister, and what they did to her was unspeakable. Black on black crime is out of control. These are the things that the white supremacists monopolize or manipulate, pardon me. They manipulate these situations to justify whatever they do to us. See? So, we got work to do, family. And for the brother that put that so-called hit or request that bodily harm is done to Kanye, brother, pray Allah that nothing happens to Kanye West. Nothing should happen to, we don't got a right to put our hands on Kanye West. The hell is wrong with us? Find them crackers that's shooting us cold blood and put your hands on them. Huh? Put your hands on them. Right? We don't got no business even talking about something like that. Hell, if you think what Kanye said was true, that's your opinion. You have that right to think so. It is what it is. I believe I understand what he said at the end of the day, but I'm not making no judgment on what he said. I'm just dealing with the reality of whether or not slavery was a choice. That's all I'm dealing with. It is what it is. The minister has a great relationship with Kanye. And I'm sure him and Minister Farrakhan has already talked about this here. This particular comment. See, because Farrakhan is a humble man. He's not badgering Kanye or anybody in the nation should be badgering Kanye behind what he said. I read a post, brother just met with the leader and da-da-da-da. I mean, what's wrong with us? That doesn't mean that he's not a free thinker. Kanye doesn't mean he's not a free thinker. I mean, hell, everything we think about ain't always pure. You and I know that. Everything we talk about ain't always right. I refuse to stand here and pretend to be this self-righteous Negro and I'm upright, yada, yada. I'm a human being, man. I bleed red blood, so hell, if I fall short, you gonna castrate me? Throw me under the bus? That Negro ain't nothing. That nigga this, that, da, 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 da. Y'all know what we do to each other, man. But I can't fret and worry about stuff like that. Gotta keep it moving, man. And ask Allah to guard me and protect me of my shortcomings. Guide us on the right path, man. The path upon those who thou hast bestowed favors. Not the path upon those who wrath is brought down, nor of those who go astray. after they have heard that teachings. I thank you all for a few moments of your time, family. I pray Allah that I didn't say anything that was offensive to anyone. I pray Allah that the little bit of wisdom that I shared was enough to at least get us to take a second look at ourselves, not Kanye, but at ourselves and our thinking and where we're really at and our struggle for separation and independence. One sister mentioned the reality of us doing for self when the sister spoke about the farmland. And I thank Allah for the sister. And again, I apologize because I can't pronounce the sister name. And I apologize for that. But she's always on the feed. I mean, she's a free-thinking black woman at that, expressing her thoughts freely, in respect. And that's what we appreciate on the Let Us Make Man. We don't hold you hostage. Say what you got to say. But just do it in respect, man. We all right with that. This ain't no debating forum. I mean, you have many forums out there that's for that, but not us. Again, thank you for listening. I'll leave you as I came before you. In the nation, greeted words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep. Peace. One love.